to Tidworth Park Polo Club here in Tidworth in Wiltshire for the second part of our afternoon of live military polo. Well, we've had a really exciting Rundle Cup already, with the Army winning by 5 goals to 3. It was a real thriller of a match from two really well matched sides. But right now, lining up, as you can just see in front of us, are the two teams for this afternoon's second game, which we're taking part in the ICOA Trophy, which is the Indian Cavalry Officers Trophy match between the UK Armed Forces Polo Association team and the Veterans Polo team. And we are expecting a really close battle again between two well-matched teams. If you were with us earlier, you probably heard my interview with Officer Cadet Dr. Fran Townend, who has overcome huge, serious injuries from a terrible accident that she was involved in many years ago, which means that she's partly paralysed, but she is actually competing and wearing the colours today of the Veterans Polo team. And you can see her actually just lining up right now, just walking forward. It's a terrific performance from all of them to be involved today. We are expecting a really close game. So I'm going to hand you over to our commentator for this afternoon for the second time today. It is handing over now to Lieutenant Colonel Simon Ledger.
Leader of the Welsh Guards, President of Army Polo, been retired now for 5 years, plays a lot of polo with his wife Elspeth, and a great leader in his wonderfully quiet and direct way. Been playing polo for some time. But here's a very special person indeed in the white hat, Felicity's sister, but this is Fran Townend. I was speaking to her mother. She plays for England. She's -1 here. But unbelievably, as a doctor, she attended a road accident on the M3 and got run over, which smashed her leg. And yet you wouldn't know it. So here's another example. She was an officer cadet for being a doctor, and she is an inspiration to many people. And playing at number 3, and we'll be playing on the field tomorrow as well, so he's going to be a bit stiff. Colonel Dickie Winchester, Naught goal player from the Royal Artillery, and before that, Royal Horse Artillery. Great guy, and he'll be on the pitch for the Royal Artillery team tomorrow at Windsor. So bringing up the quartet, past Polo Secretary for the Army Polo Association, Adjutant of his regiment, the King's Royal Hussars, retired last year, two-goaler, and is Paddy Self, late captain, and a very fine two-goaler. Has now got 5 ponies that he keeps at Druids Lodge, and you'll see him hitting a ball a very long way today. Paddy Self, ladies and gentlemen. Great guy, hugely efficient, and quite wonderful. And now the Armed Forces Polo Association team. Forgive my croaky voice, it's been a long day. Playing at number 1 today, and it's great to see her back in the saddle again. North Gaylor, squadron leader Ellie Hoochworth, or is she wing commander? Yes, she is, wing commander. Ellie Hoochworth plays great polo, seen a lot of her this year. And playing at number 2, down from the Hussar Cavalry Mountain Regiment, is a Blue and Royal. Trooper Connor Buakas, ladies and gentlemen, originally from South Africa. He can hit a ball. He's wearing 2 today. And playing at 3, a great friend of mine. He's a great chap, just been promoted. Group Captain Ed Whitechurch of the Royal Air Force and Chair of the Royal Air Force Polo Association. And bringing up the quartet, he's in the Royal Yeomanry, is Major Will Morby, ladies and gentlemen. He is the polo captain of AFPA and coordinates their teams when they take to the field. Our 2 umpires are the Ormerod father and son. Eden was the 4-goaler. Giles got to 3, so there's bragging rights by Eden over Giles. And it's going to be fast and furious. The team receive half a goal is the veterans, so Paddy Self signs them up. And you can see how he takes his time, Ellie Hoochworth, and that's why he's a 2-goal player. And that'll go straight in, and he gave that a wonderful hit. Here comes Robert Tormont Rice, and he pushes it slightly wide. But Robert with Elspeth, they've got all their girls, and Robert plays a lot of polo, and he's on the pitch again tomorrow, as is Paddy. So, ladies and gentlemen, who's going to take it out? So, the Indian Cavalry Officers Association trophy has a really great history. Will Morby thumps that one. Lovely bit of play. And here comes Ellie. Ellie! Ah, that's brilliant. Ellie Hoochworth just connects with it from the Royal Air Force. And she's going some lovely style. Just toes that one, or heels it rather, and pushes it slightly wide. And she's trying to centre it. She does. Oh, my goodness me, she's going for it. She is going really well. She's going to take it all to goal. Oh, and it comes off a pony. Bad luck, Ellie. And now she tries to back it. So it's going to be taken out by Paddy Self on the far side. Paddy, whose parents are here today, and was in the army for 10 years, the King's Royal Reserve, spent a lot of time in Canada, and then he went to Iraq, where he was there for 9 months down there. And the money he earned there as a acting major and a lieutenant colonel, he said, I went off and bought 4 polo ponies, and good for him. So he keeps them up at Druids, and that's a nice bit of play. So whistle goes. So Robert Talbot Rice, Fran Townend, Dickie Winchester and Paddy Self. The strong hitting two-goaler Paddy just pokes it down. And this is worth watching because he really does play a very, very nice game, as do the rest. But as a two-goaler, he can't half hit it. And this one will go sailing into the sewage farm over the road. We'll see how he gets on. He's going to set it up. So here we go. Paddy Self will turn round and get the pony on the correct leg. Stretches his arm. And you see how calm he is. So for those of you budding players, you see he's very settled in the saddle. And comes down, boom, and he gives that a real hike, and it's a great goal. So Paddy Self on form from the, what was that, a 60, Justin? 60, he really gave that a heave. 40, I should say, 140. So into the lead are the veterans. We've got the colours looking a bit skew-whiff here, but never mind. So here we go. Now they're going to try and take it. Paddy Self seems to be all in the action, as Connor Bjorketh. So don't be confused by the colours, because the blue means that they are the AFPA, but AFPA. So just to be clear, ladies and gentlemen, the dark blue shirts are the veterans, just so there is no concern, because looks a bit confusing, but it isn't. So here we go, as they try and take the ball round. It's just questioning the colours there, just to make sure that we are correct. And there's a real action there, and that was taken away by Will Morby on the far side. So here comes Ed Whitechurch, but it is Dickie Winchester who backs it, but well met and taken on by the young blue and royal trooper, Connor, who's done really well on the near side. And he's a lucky young man because the ponies are being lent by his commanding officer, who's been on royal duty up in Edinburgh with his regiment, the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment. But George is here. Hi, George. How are you doing? All right. You haven't driven down all the way from Edinburgh, have you? No, didn't think so. But here we go. Was that a whistle? I do wish they'd come over here, actually. It's much easier. Can you please keep your children under control as Paddy comes round now for the veterans once again in the quartered colours. Don't be confused by the scoreboard. So here we go, and he gives that a real heave, and that's going to go right up and soars up the bank, and the children nearly get their heads taken off by that ball. So there we are, Paddy Self making the difference. That scores another goal there. So can Frantanen get up, I wonder. Let's have a look here as Connor comes down to tackle him, and that's clever play by Paddy. Just waits and tries to sucker him in, and there's the play by Paddy, who rolls the ball down, and this is good play. And Will Morby slightly across the line, but he got away with that, or did he? So now we're going to see Will Morby leans back, and that's a good shot by Will Morby. He's away now, and Ellie Hoogeworth, Dickie Winchester after him. These two playing on the same side tomorrow. Here comes Ellie Hoogeworth. Ellie Hoogeworth backing up, and she had a nice run a moment ago. Will Morby still on the case now, and Dickie Winchester tries to have a crack, didn't get hold of it, as Ed Whitechurch, and now that's Connor, Trooper Connor Bjerkes, and he did a good job there. But now Paddy Self is going to set off on one of these runs, and he does these all day. Oh, well done, Connor, as Ed Whitechurch tidies up. Lovely backhand, but well met by Frantanen. Fran, who had those horrible injuries some time ago, but that was a great backhander on the near side. Gave that a bit of air, did Will Morby. And here comes Ellie Hoogeworth and Ed Whitechurch. That's a good shot. So now it's on your left-hand side, and here comes the number 3, and that's clever. Well done. Gets that ball back. Does Dickie Winchester, and Robert Talbot Rice marking like mad at the back. So this game, the Indian Cavalry Officers Association trophy, was made by, used to be sitting in Asprey's store. There was a wonderful man here in the early days of the Rundle Cup called Colonel Douglas Gray, who every year the Indian Cavalry Officers Association had a cocktail party in front of Tidworth House. And when I was first commentating here, there were about 200 or 300 of them who turned up from all over the country. And it was often hosted by now our King, but then the Prince of Wales, in front of Tidworth House. And these were officers in the British Indian Cavalry who had been bereft of their regiments since 1947 and independence. And Douglas Gray decided that he would buy this trophy again via a great friend of mine called Jeremy Mains. And here's Will Morby. I'll get back to the story in a moment. Will gives that a solid thump, but it's going to go wide of the right-hand post. So it's a shame. I thought it was going to be a lovely evening tonight, but not yet. At least there's no rain around. And I'm not sure the test score. Does anybody have a test score? Okay, well, come and tell me then. And it's going to be taken. Who's going to take this one? And here comes Paddy Self. Paddy drives it in front of us here. He's got a very powerful stroke on him, and he's taking his time. Ah, that's a hell of a polo shot. And he dumps that 100 yards. Here comes Ed Whitechurch, Will Morby, and Dickie Winchester. Robert Talbot Rice now is trying to get the ball, and he just slides past him, does Ed Whitechurch. That's clever play by him. Here comes Paddy Self, who backs it on the near side. Fran Tarnen picks it up. Good bit of work by her. Fran, the most remarkable person, as is her sister Felicity, who works here, and it's taken away by Ellie Hoogeworth on the far side. And well done, Dickie Winchester. Got his backhand in, and Robert Talbot Rice making him a real nuisance of himself against Will Morby on in front of the bar down the end, the British Polo Gin bar, you can see poking out over the trees. So the two umpires, we've got 2 goals so far. This is the first period of play, the first chucker. So we got a half playing 2, and the veterans in the ascendancy, as the AFPA have got a bit to do. So here we go. It's going to be another knock to Paddy Self in the shiny blue helmet, the ex-King's Royal Hussar adjutant, and was a very busy man during his 10 years service. That's a great shot too, lovely pass. And he's going to go to Fran. Fran just can't pick it up. Will Morby backs it to return the interest for the Armed Forces Polo Association team in the dark blue shirts. And it's taken round by Paddy Self on the near side, and Connor Bjerkes is all over him like a rash and actually wins that encounter. He's a good player for -1. There's this trooper from the Blues and Royals, and Paddy Self smacks one down. That's just a brilliant pass. That's just superb. But Will Morby is there, tries to pick it up. Ooh, and that was trouble, and you can see the line there, and I'm afraid that Will Morby will pay that penalty as the Eden and his father Giles just slope across the ground, trying to point out the whistle is going to go shortly to end the first chunk. So 2 goals to the good are the veterans, and the AFPA in the dark blue. They're also quartered colours, but it's not quite right. So they're going to change their ponies, but there will be a chance for this penalty to go in. Paddy Self looks behind him. It's a 30-yarder. It's undefended. Let's see how he goes. Paddy Self, very gifted rider. You can see how calm he is on a horse. And he spends hours. And he just strokes it in, smacks it through. And great goal. So Paddy Self, that's the 2nd goal he scored, 3rd goal. So he's on 3, and to the half of the Armed Forces Polo Association. And I'm sure the bell has gone, but I haven't heard a hooter. So perhaps somebody should check. I don't know. Is the hooter going to go? Yeah, there's the bell, and the ball not thrown in, so I wasn't far off. So that's the end of the first period of play. 3 goals, all scored from the stick of Paddy Self. And it's been a good battle between him and Connor Bjerkes. Will Morby, Ellie Hoogeworth and Ed Whitechurch. And Robert Talbot Rice marking like mad. Fran Tarnen, very unlucky on a couple of occasions. Dickie Winchester also sorting himself out. So, ladies and gentlemen, our trade stands are still here. So, Lorimer, the Ghanaian.
Exchange between these two.
The hand-painted oysters and scallop shells by Francesca for that prize for that godparent, that godchild rather. Middleton Maid. That's wonderful. It was a great card, that, and you should go and see it. And it's inspired clothing. That's why it's inspired. Middleton Maid. Ascot Top Hats, Hook Polo, and Rob Cameron, who sponsored and gave the prizes at the match. Tessa Maynard. Fiora Skincare is here. Jackie Lee. The Urban Ranch. And that's Kenyan bags, belts, collars, etc. Go and see them. It's got some lovely gear there. And the L&B collection, fun, versatile and comfortable casual clothing, and Lucinda Radford. And if you're into bees, then Hive and Keeper are here. And finally, Mo Chili, just behind me, original handmade jewellery, and Pam Mernon, again for that present you forgot. And just to remind you that the early Christmas fair is Tuesday 26th of September, 2 p.m. to 9:30, and then Wednesday 27th of September, 9:30 to 4 p.m. And that is great stuff here on the Polo Ground at Tidworth Park. So those are our trade stands, and our thanks to them. It's great to see them here. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't supported them yet, now is the time. Now is the time. So it's been a great day so far, and we've just got 2 more chuckers to go, and then it's after party time with British Polo Gin and Rich Hine. And stick around, everybody. It's not going to rain, but this match going very nicely towards the veterans. Robert Talbot Rice, Fran Townend, Dickie Winchester and Paddy Self. And AFBA, they've had their moments. Ellie Hoogeworth and Connor Björkes doing well, trying to shut down Paddy Self. And then Ed Whitechurch doing some good work in the middle of the park, and that's just him taking off there, which is great. So they turn at the bottom here, and Ed Whitechurch leans out and opens the backhander, trying to find Will Morby, who's manoeuvred neatly on the side. Fran Townend trying to get, and this could be the first goal if Ed can score from there, and he's just going to roll it in, surely, and he does. Well done, Will Morby. They get a goal back in the second period of play with less than 30 seconds on the clock, and that was made by Ed Whitechurch, because what he did was that he took the ball very calmly down and set it up for Will, and that's what you got to do at this level. So they'll swap ends again. 1.5 plays 3. So the veterans know they got a game on their hands. And Robert Talbot Rice, the Major General at 1 for the vets, and Fran Townend in the white helmet. There she is, hitting it. She's a British international and at the ladies level, the women in polo, and Paddy Self delivers a passing shot down there, trying to find Robert Talbot Rice, and Robert Talbot Rice picks it up. He just didn't quite connect. He just rolled it on the heel of his stick, which was sad for him. Nice pass. And there's a bit of a battle down the far side. As taken on by Ed Whitechurch. That's nicely done. And now Will Morby trying to replicate what he did a moment ago. And here he comes yet again. He scuffs it slightly. And as they take it past now, and that's a good shot by Ed Whitechurch. Ed Whitechurch thumps it into the middle of the park here, and Paddy Self is there. He'll pick it up on the near side, but Connor's all over him. And he's doing just the right thing as Connor Bjerkesen wins that encounter as Ellie Hoochworth tries to back it. Didn't get hold of it, but it's still there. And Dickie Winchester backs. And there's a melee just this side of the goal, and neither team really getting the ball away. Robert Talbot Rice tries to dig it out. Ellie Hoochworth, Paddy Self hovering at the back. And, oh, that popped out from somewhere. And here comes Will Morby going for the haymaker. God, he didn't half give that a thump. A lovely backhander by Robert Talbot Rice. Ed Whitechurch returns it. Another lovely backhander comes off a pony, Connor's pony, which is slightly unfortunate. Ellie Hoochworth again dives and dips at the ball. And Paddy Self says, right, that's enough of that. And takes the ball down. Paddy, goodness gracious me, he's got a hell of a hit on him, and he drives that one into the middle of the park. And there's another opportunity for Robert Talbot Rice, who puts his stick down and hits it beautifully. Robert Talbot Rice taking it by Will Morby. So the veterans going well. Now it's Fran Tarnin. Go, Fran. Sister Felicity works in the polo office here, and I was speaking to their mother earlier. What a lovely family they are. And Fran, what a brave girl she is, having had that horrible accident on the M3 while tending somebody in. Who was that? That was Ed Whitechurch who got that ball away. Now he's going to have to give it a real boot, and he does. Oh, great shot. Lovely shot by Ed Whitechurch as he comes across to take Paddy Self out of it. And did I see it drop now? Will Morby, he'll either connect with that or he'll miss it, but he connected with it. Lovely bit of play. Will Morby, the major, and he's now got to be careful he doesn't overcook it, because otherwise it's going to go wide. Oh dear, dear, dear. Been much better to just take a half shot and centre it up in front of goal. It's much, much easier. So it's going to be another end-to-end stuff. Can I ask that the children just be careful on that bank on the far side, please? If you could recover them to the top of the bank, I think that might be better. Thank you. So, where's the ball? Paddy Self, and he'll drill it. He does. Absolutely laid into it. And Fran Tarnin takes it on the near side. Pony helping you there, Fran. Here comes Will Morby. You can always tell Will Morby. His hat is always akimbo, as I call it. And Dickie Winchester didn't quite get hold of it, but Ed Whitechurch does, and he now comes down. Ed Whitechurch going to have a tilt at this. It's the interregimental finals day tomorrow up at Guards Polo Club. A lot of Royal Artillery coming to support their team. They've sensed an opportunity against the Queen's or Royal Hussars, I wonder. Queen's Royal Hussars won it last year, and the issue is that they've been most of the time in Estonia, as indeed the King's Royal Hussars as well, and the Royal Tank Regiment based here. They've taken in turns. So that was a foul by the veterans. So the Queen's Royal Hussars, Brigadier Nick Cowley in the mix there with Major Max Morant, Captain Will Cecil and Captain Jamie Fry, the newly appointed adjutant of the Queen's Royal Hussars, a very fine horseman. And this is going to be a great opportunity for Will Morby. And here he goes. Oh no, Ed Whitechurch, what am I saying? Oh, well done, Paddy Self, but it's a great goal by Ed Whitechurch, and he scores. So they're back now 2.5 to 3, just half a goal in it, and we've got 2 minutes left before half time. And I'm going to ask you to take a walk at half time and get out on the pitch, ladies and gentlemen. So back to the centre of the ground. They'll swap ends. 2 minutes left with 30 to add. The gap is closing. 2.5 it is, because they receive half a goal, do the Armed Forces Polo Association. And that's nicely done on the near side by Robert Talbot Rice. Paddy Self also picks it up. Couldn't do as good a shot as the -1. Fran Tarnen picks it up. Fran, go for it, Fran. Lovely little shot by Fran. Comes off Connor Burkus' pony. And now it's taken away by Ed Whitechurch, who's having a great game today, I have to say. He's really going some. And Ed Whitechurch, he played against the Army last Sunday at Druids Lodge. They weren't victorious that day. That's beautifully done by Ed Whitechurch, and that's what he can do. And it's gone wide. That's so sad for him. That's so sad. A lovely breakout from in depth. So the veterans can breathe again. So it's 2.5 it is to 3. The vets, let's see what Paddy Self can do. He'll be wanting to try and take the ball down at the far end. And he will. He'll drill a really dicey cutter there. And that's a great... well done, Fran Tarnend. Fran Tarnend on the charge. But, oh, that's well taken forward. That's a clever move by Ed Whitechurch. That's the way to do it, because you take the ball out of reach of the player that's pursuing you. But he's got to get off the ball now. Well done, Fran Tarnend, for sticking to that. Done really well on the far side. And it's taken away by Connor Bjorkas, playing number 2. Go, Connor. And he pumps it down. And Connor's still there. And Will Morby cuts it across the ground. He didn't mean to do that. And Ellie Hoochworth following nicely for the Armed Forces Polo Association in the darker blue colours. Takes it round. Well done, Ellie. We've got about 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left in the second period of play. Here we go. Yo, yo, yo. Paddy Self does a stealer, as I call it. And he waits. He waits. You see, he doesn't thrash at the ball. He knows that they've got to get out of his way. And therefore, there's the play. And that's beautifully done. And Fran Tarnend is exactly in the right place. Go, Fran. And she puts her hand down. But look at Connor Bjorkas. He's coming up behind her. And but Fran is equal to it. You wouldn't believe the injuries this girl received at the side of a motorway. And when you see her walk with 2 sticks, you realise just how bad they were. Now, you need to do a bit of a hawk there. And was that a whistle? Paddy Self took that forward, and that's the risky way. Remember the lines that we've got in front of us here. And that was the end of the chukker, ladies and gentlemen. Whistle goes, so it's half-time. It's half-time. Everybody out on the pitch. Take a walk. The sun is out. The sun is out. Get out there. We've just got 2 more chukkers to go. And off you go, everybody. Off you go. Out you go. It's no use looking at me like that. Go on, get on out there. What's a bit of rain? Are you enjoying it? Are you having a good day? That's marvellous. Put the brolly down and go for a walk. Good on you. And come on, everybody. Time to take a walk. Oh, look. There's Fran's mother in bright yellow. Proud lady. Where's Felicity? Working. Oh, she's over there. Anyway, off you go. And out onto the pitch, everybody. And there's lots to do. The Armed Forces Polo Association still in the lead by the 3 goals by Paddy Self. But the Armed Forces, the veterans, I should say, in the lead. Armed Forces Polo Association coming back strongly now. A goal each for Will Morby and Ed Whitechurch. And they've done well. And their handicap advantage just puts them half a goal behind.
So yes, half-time then here in this second match here, the Indian Cavalry Association match, and well, you can see the score. It could not be closer, did it? 3 to 2.5 at the moment, and we are expecting lots of excitement in the last two chukkers. That's what we hope for. But earlier on, of course, we had the Rundle Cup, and that was won by the Army by 5 goals to 3. And afterwards, I was able to speak to both the captains. That's Steve Spiller from the Royal Navy and Barney Jakes Gray rather, from the British Army. Well, I have the two captains then, Barney Jakes Gray and Steve Spiller with me. Congratulations to both of you. Terrific game, but one of the closest rundles we've had for a long time.
Yeah, a really competitive game actually.
It came down to just a couple of things here and there, and it was nice. It's nice. It's good for the crowd, good for the day.
Yeah, I'm really pleased. The pony providers were amazing, and I'm sure Steve will see the same. Great weather for it eventually once the rain stopped, but actually just a really competitive match, and I'm really pleased with the result, obviously. But we played really well together actually. So really happy.
Yeah, the Army played well. We had our chances, didn't take all of them. Bit of luck. That's sport. Didn't go our way today, but it's a good game. Nice, great day for the crowd. The horses were great, and actually the rain helped the grounds. The horses really liked it. So yeah, like the rain in the morning. That was good. I was a fan.
You both had inexperienced members of the team today. You've obviously gained a huge amount from this Rundle Cup.
Yeah, the Rundle Cup and Polo is all about building for the future, isn't it? So, this tournament's been around for such a long time. We've got some new players coming through. I'm the old man of the team. This may well be my last Rundle Cup, who knows? But I think the team played really well today. We've got some great new talent coming through, and that was clearly on evidence today.
And Steve, he's got his hands on the trophy once again. But
not forever.
Gentlemen, there's always next year.
Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Thanks, Steve. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Simon Hunter, and this is In Case You Missed It. Heading north, the Royal Navy Rugby League women at the home of Leeds Rhinos. The squad visited Headingley for a 3-day training camp with the current Super League champions as part of their build-up to the Inter-Services Championships. The Renegades followed that up with a testing friendly against current Women's Championship leaders Dewsbury Moor Women. More than halfway home, Army Team Pacific 1 have made rapid progress in the event known as the world's toughest row. The 4 serving personnel from One Yorks have covered more than half of the 2,800 miles in the Talisker Pacific Row. They're currently 3rd overall.
Morale is high, very high. Love to everyone, thanks for following, and as always, we'll see you on the beach.
Sure you frame the retinal side picture, then you'll come down, remaining completely still in the body.
Taking aim with lessons from one of the very best. Members of 16 Regiment Royal Artillery getting some shooting tips from Commonwealth medalist Sergeant Sam Gowan. Sergeant Gowan is a member of the regiment and competes internationally in rapid-fire pistol. It's a hat-trick. More success for Voltage, the British Army Formation skydiving team. They've won at Dunkswell, their 3rd successive victory in the British Skydiving League. Team Diablo Rouge from the Red Devils Army Parachute Display Team also won the A category in their first ever competition.
Work hard, don't do it.
A 4 a.m. alarm, breakfast and they're off. 16 teams, most from the Royal Corps of Signals, run a half marathon, complete a triathlon and then a British Army Warrior fitness test in this annual competition. It's an inter-squadron contest involving 300 soldiers, which is now a test of teamwork. And after a final stretcher carry, 14 Signal Regiment crossed the line first.
So, lots of excitement here then in the Rundle Cup. Obviously, we're halfway through the second match here at the moment. Simon Ledger joining me once again. Simon, we're loving your commentary this afternoon, the usual stuff.
Thank you very much.
Do you rehearse
indeed.
it?
No, I don't. No, I've been doing it for so many years that actually once I'm in the mood and get going, as long as I know the names and can identify them, then we just take it from there. And I do this around the world, so I'm a very lucky man.
There's some great stories, though, behind so many of the riders that we're seeing and the ponies. Let's just go back to the Rundle Cup, though. Obviously, the presentations at the end, very exciting, and obviously great for the winners, but magnanimous in defeat. But the best pony as well. That's always the first award that is made, and everyone keeps quiet.
Yes, because we're saluting the pony, because without the ponies we would not be able to play the game. And unless one respects and absolutely praises the horse doesn't know, but we are showing appreciation by selecting a best playing pony. And that's what it's all about. And those players who are perhaps looking on thinking, oh yes, actually I am dependent on my pony. Because you can't play good polo unless you've got a good pony. They're
so brilliant, though, aren't they? I mean, and it was a home pony, a homegrown pony from here.
It belongs to the club, played by the Navy, and they're beautifully looked after by the grooms. That's the point. And I praise them, and that's why we always do it in that way. It's a celebration. Both teams, actually, just to go back to the match, were very even. And that vital third chukker is psychological. A lot of sport could learn from this, and I've seen it around the world in 20-goal matches. The team that's behind, even by 2 or 3 goals, will say, come on, we can do this. And the team ahead goes, yeah, we've done this. And they haven't. And all it needs is a 20-second run, and the whole atmosphere changes for the team that was ahead. And that's what nearly happened to the Army.
And it so nearly did, as you say.
Oh, it was white knuckle time for them. And good, and they learnt from it. They all said to me afterwards, okay, boss, yeah, we got that wrong, because I'm also director of Army Polo. So,
as you said, your dad was in the Navy, so mixed messages
yes,
there.
And my uncle was in the Royal Air Force, and then my 2 brothers were all Marines. So you could say that actually I have more in common with the Navy than the Army, but that would be wrong.
But it's always a great moment, obviously, when that trophy is lifted, isn't it?
It is. There. And the history of it is very important. It was given by the governor of Malta some years ago in the 1900s to be played by the garrison and the Navy and the fleet in Malta. And when the Maltese eventually said, okay, time to go, then it was smuggled out of Malta by Commander Marks, Andrew Marks, who for many years used to call the games here. And 3 admirals, including Earl Mountbatten of Burma, went, right, we'll keep it, and we'll play for it every year here at Tidworth and elsewhere.
Because I think it was 1966, wasn't it, the last time it was actually played in Malta, and the Army won.
Yes, it was true, but if you look in the programme, in fact, it should have been 1972, somebody told me, because I had Captain McGregor come up and say it was 1972, and I went, well, I didn't write the programme. So it was 1972. So
they'll put that right next year.
Yeah, they will. They will. But thank you. And it's been good fun, and I must get back to it, I'm afraid, to get people off the ground and get this second half underway, John.
Simon, thank you very much indeed. Looking forward to a cracking second half here. It's close.
Yes, it is. And watch out for Paddy Self. He's a very gifted player off 2 goal. And I mean, he if you want to play polo and settle down, he is the fellow to watch, because he's calm, but he's also got an eye like a hawk, and he's a good boy.
Thank you. Talking
No
of which,
problem.
You're an absolute star, so thank you very much.
No problem, John. Delighted.
Simon Ledger, once again, a legend in his own lifetime here, very much so, who's commentating, obviously, and he'll be rousing the troops and getting everyone off the course so we can enjoy the last 2 chukkers here at this great occasion here. It's very, very close, as we say. But let's just find out about some of the things that have been happening in the world of forces sport, shall we? The much-changed Army team conceded an early try from the Broncos' opening attack from Iona McCusker, but hit back with 2 excellent tries to take the lead. First, Kasaleni Gunavanaka was on the end of an excellent move created by Ellie Rains to score in the corner. Then some flowing football from the Army yielded a second try. Some real power from Una Vakasegu and brilliant work from Vice-Captain Ellie Rains to power over the line. The conversion from Lily Roberts gave the Army a 10-6 lead. Before the Broncos struck with their second try right on half-time. With the Army caught out of position, Kanesha Selby took full advantage to drive over for 12-10. The second half was a different story. The Army, missing several of their regular stars, found it hard to get into their rhythm and were clobbered by some excellent play from the Broncos. They added 5 further tries, including a hat-trick from the excellent Courtney Traco, to run away with the game and inflict a 40-10 win on the Army. Despite this, the Reds were upbeat after the game, with the prospect of progressing into the knockout stages of Women's Super League South virtually guaranteed.
The effort on the pitch was amazing. I think we really achieved some of the processes that we've been trying to do in training, and get the ball wider, be a bit more inventive. I think when we came out the second half, I think things tailed off a bit. I think the other team were coming at us and we were trying to do our plays a bit too far back in our yardage area. So I think that caused us a bit of a problem and made more mistakes than we usually would. And new players, missing some key players, but I think that's going to be a thing that goes throughout the season because they've committed to their teams, whereas I myself made it very clear that Army was my priority. You won't get rid of me.
Programme today, you've got
and a really important game for the Army Women's Rugby League team next weekend. Next Saturday they'll be playing the Cardiff Demons over there in Cardiff, which will be a real decider in that Women's Super League South Championship. A victory for the Army would put them in a very, very strong position. They're already guaranteed a place in the semi-finals, but of course it's all about placings to decide those positions. So Rugby League, and don't forget, of course, on Wednesday we've got more live sport for you here on Forces News, Facebook and on our YouTube channel, because we've got some football. Not too far away from here actually, we'll be at Bulford for the final of this season's Army. It's actually the Army final for the infantry 2 teams, and 2 teams are actually based in Bulford, so we're expecting a big crowd there. 2 o'clock kickoff for that game between the 2 teams who have made it through to the final, so we'll be there for that. But 1 Mercian and 5 Rifles doing battle. We will be there on Wednesday afternoon with a 2 o'clock kickoff, so I hope you can join us for that. But very, very shortly we're back again for the next round, or the last 2 truckers this afternoon here, and the rain is beginning to pour down, so I'll hand you back to Simon Ledger.
Either, but anyway, we shall see. So Justin, thank you for what you do and your crew here, and Lolly, your daughter, and she does a great job. Unbelievable, really. And so who are we waiting for? Oh, there we are. Now it's Paddy Self who's going to take this 60-yarder from the line here, and let's see how he goes. Oh, my goodness me. Watch out, everybody. That ball's flying through the air, and it makes the bank, and it went slightly wide. Well, we're going to have to make sure those children, if we do that again, are not going to be brained by a polo ball. So we've just got to be a bit careful. So watch the game. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. A great shot, but it was not a goal. Or was it? And I think there's a discussion. The 2 umpires, I think they're going to let him have another go at it. I wonder. Yo, yo, yo. What happened there then? Anyway, it's going to be a knock-in. I thought so. Yes, it's going to be a knock-in to the Armed Forces Polo Association. And just a bit about it, as I was saying about my mentor, not only for breeding racehorses, which I once did, was a chap called Colonel Douglas Gray. And he was, oh, well done, Ellie Hoochrath. She's setting off flat out down the bottom here. Go, Ellie, go. And now she's got to turn the corner, as I say, in polo, and she does. It's just got to control it, doesn't want to put it wide. Oh, you could feel the pain there. And here comes Connor Bjorkas, riding Colonel Tom Armitage's ponies. Wife Georgie here to look after him. Tom Armitage, the commanding officer of the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment, has a nice little near side backhand by Will Morby, but it didn't quite go in. And now they're going to be taking it round, and that's beautifully done. So, but the whistle goes. So Colonel Douglas Gray, late of the Skinner's Horse, joined the Skinner's Horse in 1928. He went to war 3 times on a horse, was badly injured in Italy when second in command of the Skinner's Horse, and then ended his career in the army because he was too old to transfer to the British Army in 1947. He was a major force in the Indian Cavalry Officers Association organization, and for many years I used to go and attend because my regiment, the old 13th, 18th Royal Hussars, Queen Mary's Own, were twinned with Skinner's Horse. And Douglas and I became great friends, and then for many years he and I did this match together, and he presented the trophy. He was born in 1909, so oh, that's an amazing shot. You can see, if you get the timing right, how far that ball can go. And that has gone a full 120 yards, and that's a wonderful polo shot. Is it going to creep into the goal? No, it isn't. So the veteran's looking very sharp, and the goal judge scampers off to the left and signals the ball's gone out of play. That was a lovely shot by Paddy Self. He really launched into that. And Colonel Douglas found in Aspreys, with the help of a great friend of mine, an ex-Irish Hussar called Jeremy Mains, this wonderful trophy that you'll see later. And Aspreys then did it up, and it was delivered as Paddy Self takes it on the near side and just flips it out on the near side. And that's just beautiful. Look at the way he's keeping Ellie off, but Ellie wins the battle in the end. And that was good play by Ellie to close down the 2-galer on fire. And there's Robert Talbot Rice, Major General. Nice little shot by him on the far side. Fran Tarnin coming into it. Robert just runs over it. Trooper Connor Bjorkas of the Horse Guards. Here's Ed Whitechurch, who's had a great game today, and he got that absolutely right. But here we go. Whoa, and crikey Moses, that went like a blooming rocket on the near side. And did it come off a pony? I think it might have done. And it just went up in the air. And that's the power of the near side backhander. If you time it right, and you saw how quickly he moved his hand. Robert Talbot Rice going off, and 5 minutes, so 3 plays 2.5 for this encounter between the veterans in the red, light blue and dark blue quarters there, and Paddy plays a great game. And there are many old friends here today. Colonel Alan Mallinson, Brigadier Alan Mallinson is here today. It's lovely to see him. He's my old commanding officer, and Jeremy Self, Paddy's father, here. So it's a really family occasion. It's wonderful to see so many people from far and wide who've come along to today. So here comes Robert Talbot Rice, and Paddy going to have another one of his great shots. So let's see if we can get it in the air, right over the top of the players, smack between the goal. But mothers and fathers on the bank there, just keep an eye on children where this ball's going to go. Would you mind? Thank you. So here we go. Paddy Self stretches his arm, as is his habit. And again, he launches that one. It's going to go right over the top. And what a goal by Paddy Self, 60-yarder. Oh, my word, that's his 4th goal today. And ladies and gentlemen, you won't see better on the Queen's Ground up at Guards Polo Club. I've seen 10-goal players miss 60-yarders, and Paddy on fire today. It's lovely to watch. Nice and relaxed. For those budding polo players amongst you, see how relaxed he is. He stretches his arm. He's got a system. He's got an eye like a hawk. and the way that ball went. In goes the ball from Eden Ormrod, the 4-goaler, and Fran Townend. So it is now 4 to 2.5. And Athborough are going to have to go some. Here comes Will Morby, tries to go for the backhander, but Ed Whitechurch nails it. Lovely little near side. Here comes Ellie Hoochworth. Paddy Self just rides her out of it, but Ellie's still there. And then he just nudges her out of the way, and that's the way it is. It's lucky Will Morby got left behind a bit there, because he's able to pump it up for the Armed Forces team. Oh, great shot by Dickie Winchester, picked up by Fran Townend. Fran Townend coming through. Dickie playing tomorrow along with Will for the Royal Artillery at the interregimental finals, the Forfar interregimental finals tomorrow at Smith's Lawn, the Duke's Ground. And here comes Ellie Hoochworth going great guns now. Can she cut it again? Oh, she'll be frustrated by that. Did all the hard work. Very difficult to do that shot, and you've just got to measure it. Take it early, early, early. Temptation is to say, right, I've done the first one. I didn't expect to get it. But you've just got to lean out and time it. So well done, the goal judges. And I'd like to thank all the goal judges for their hard work today. And here we go. Paddy Self looks down the pitch. Watch where Robert Talbot Rice is. And there goes the ball. He's not aiming for him. It's Ed Whitechurch who's coming along to sort it out. He does so. Lovely shot. Opens it up. They're all going to have to turn again. Paddy just rides off Connor Bierkus. Connor, they're equal to it. But now here comes Connor. That's a good shot by him. And really drives the ball up on the far side. And... oh, well done. Great goal, great goal. Will Morby. Now they get a goal back. So they're back within half a goal. 3.5 plays 4. We're not done yet here in this Indian Cavalry Officers Association trophy match. And just to finish the story about Douglas Gray, he lived until he was 96 and was a great friend of mine. And it was a very sad passing, but age does that sort of thing. And his memory is this Indian Cavalry Officers Association trophy. And the connection lives on. I only had a call yesterday from the 61st Cavalry CO saying to me, right, we want the British Army to tour in India in 2024, and whereupon the answer was yes please. Anyway, off goes Paddy Self on one of his trundling runs. Look at the way he just is so steady, and it just gets oh, and there he goes. He just leans over and smacks it. Great goal. And that is the way to play. So you can see he just takes it gently, 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 and then when he's under pressure he just looks up, measures it and smacks it. So that's his 5th goal today, and a real exhibition class. So it is 5, playing 3.5 with 30 seconds to go of real time before we end the 3rd period of play in this, the Indian Cavalry Officers Association trophy match. And I'd like to thank everybody to be doing it. And sponsors for this tournament, Horace Hill, Forfar Education and the Kiris Group. And the prize sponsors are Hurlingham 1875. And the best playing pony is being given by the Polo Times, another Hine family. A word about John Forsyth and Horace Hill and Forfar Education. They are on duty again tomorrow for the interregimental finals day. And I know they've got their own tent here. Here comes Will Morby, and he drills a nice little shot of 30, 40 yards down the ground. And I'd like to thank Forfar and Horace Hill together. And we'll meet John Forsyth, who used to be in the Irish Hussars, Queen's Royal Hussars, I should say. And we're going to see him tomorrow up at Guards Polo Club. And here comes Will Morby. They've got 30 seconds. Will it creep across the goal? No, it won't, and it's gone wide. So there it is. They're going to have to come back. So it's was it a goal? Oh, it was a goal. Oh, wonderful. Well done, the Armed Forces Polo Association, who got the tickle to it. So it's 4.5 to 5. And we've got just one more chucker to go. Was that you, Will? Did you get it in? Well done, William. And that's his 2nd goal today. And well done. Good man. So half a goal in it now. And It's not done yet for the veterans. And Ellie Hoochworth had a cracking game. Well done, Ellie. You all right? Good form today for the Armed Forces Polo Association. Lovely crowd here, which is brilliant. So they'll be out shortly for our last chukker of polo on this Rundle Cup Day 2023. And we will then get on with the prize giving and conclude the game. And there's Sarah. Hi, Sarah. How you doing? The old boy's actually playing quite well, isn't he? Oh, come along. Where's your generosity?
Crowd shot through.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Now, I want you to watch this pony, the cow pony of Paddy Self's, Cody the cow. It's a coloured horse. It was made and bought by Paddy Self, and he's trained it to be a polo pony. So if anybody's interested, it's only a 7-year-old, then this pony, the coloured one, is for sale, being ridden by Paddy Self. So you budding polo players out there, yeah, get your wallet out and buy it. We'll see how it goes today. So our two teams, the AFPA team, Ellie Hoochworth going quite nicely at 1, and then Trooper Connor Björkes going very nicely at 2, actually. At 3 is Ed Whitchurch, who's done jolly well at times to close the gap. Will Morby, who's struck gold, and here comes Dickie Winchester for the veteran team. He's playing tomorrow for the Royal Artillery up on the gilded fields of the Guards Polo Club, and that's beautifully done by Robert Talbot Rice, who's president of Army Polo. Will Morby gets the backhander in, and he absolutely slides it wide. Picked up by Ellie Hoochworth beautifully on the far side in front of the ice cream van, takes it down, and well done indeed, Ellie, the wing commander. She's doing jolly well. Now the group captain will have a crack. And there he goes, lovely, just pumps it down. Paddy Self on the cow pony, that's for sale, lovely little open backhander there. And it's going to be returned by In Interest, except that it didn't quite work. And therefore, Robert Talbot Rice comes steaming in, the Major General. And Paddy has another crack, and he skies it up. And what a goal, what a goal, what a goal by Paddy. Absolutely got into that, and unbelievably, that's his 6th goal. He's showing off. He scored all 6 of them. The clever sod. I mean, the clever fellow. Anyway, I tell you what, I'm not going to polish his ego anymore, but ladies and gentlemen, if you want to buy this pony, it is for sale. It's called Katie the Cow, made by Paddy. It's 7 years old. So 6 plays 4.5. Now, what can the AFPA do? Dickie Winchester, the veteran. Nice shot by Dickie, getting his eye in for tomorrow, where he's playing for the Royal Artillery. Oh, and he couldn't quite get his stick down. Yo, yo, yo. So let's see. AFPA will want to get out of here to get up the other end to put the pressure on. And Will Morby does so, but it comes off Paddy's self-stick. All he did was stretch his hand out. And there he goes again. No, it can't be a 7th. It's gone wide. And I love the style of the goal judge. Just when you think he or she is going to raise it above her head, suddenly the flag goes down to indicate that it's out of play. Well done, the goal judges. They've been great, very well trained. So here comes with the... Here we go. Will Morby, Will Morby, Will Morby. Boom! As he's got a powerful hit on him. You can always tell it's Will Morby because his head is tilted on the back of his head. And it's Ed Whitechurch tackling it out with Fran Townend. Townend still on it. Robert Talbot Rice is there. Ed Whitechurch getting canny and clever. And he drills it up. But look who's there. Paddy, that's a rare miss for Paddy Self. And he's opened the door for Will Morby. And great shot by Robert Talbot Rice. Just backs it. Ellie Hoochworth cuts it out to the side. Here comes Ed Whitechurch. Paddy Self just picks it up on the near side. He's allowed to do that because he kept his pony the right side. Now let's see if we can get the ball down. He can't quite, and he couldn't quite get the ball away. He was up against the ball. Fran Townend is there. And where is Connor Bjerkus? There he is. Now what's he... Oh... The ball there, well done, Fran Townend as she comes down. And still there, here is Dickie Winchester battling it out with group captain Ed Whitechurch. Lovely little shot by him. Who's going to be the first to turn? And whoa, that could have been interesting. Paddy Self just waits, lurks, but he comes off another pony. We've got 3 minutes left with 2 goals to score would settle it. So we've got the Livy Reeve and Tom George Tome, and their club members and the RA Pony Club. Our thanks to our goal judges, Livy Reeve and George Tom, Tommy. God, your writing's bad. It's appalling. Brigadier, unbelievable. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to everybody who's put this game together, and the whistle goes. And so the history lives on with the relationship with the British Indian Cavalry, which is so entwined with Polo itself. The Indian Cavalry, British Indian Cavalry took it forward with the British Cavalry Regiments too, and some of the great teams in pre-war days were the Indian Cavalry teams, who of course had not only the British officers playing, but the Subadars and the Sawars as well, who were very gifted. And Colonel Ravi Rathore, later of the 61st Cavalry, rang me the other day to say, right, we want you back out in India, British Army, for the Sudan Cup. So that's going to happen. So a real link to the Indian Cavalry Officers Association trophy. Now, who's going to be taking this? Is it going to be the hard-hitting Will Morby, or is it going to be the steady group captain? It's going to be Ed Whitechurch, who's a super guy, station commander up at RAF Coningsby, and he drives the ball down. Paddy Self, who's showing off now, he met that ball on the run and he smacked it down the ground. That's what two goalers do, and they clash in the middle. Well done indeed, Connor Bjerkus. He did a good job. Fran Townend trying to get the ball away. Robert Talbot Rice now. It's Ed Whitechurch. We haven't got long to go. We've got about 2 minutes left of this, the AFPA Indian Cavalry Officers Association Trophy versus the veterans for the first time here. Robert Talbot Rice, that's a great stroke by him on the near side. And they're going to have to go and collect it now. Will Morby. Fran Townend takes it on. Fran taking it on, still there. And she knows her stuff. And well done her. She's keeping going. Go, Fran, go. I think that was a whistle, though. And we'll let them sort that one out. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we're coming to the end of a great day, there are a lot of people to thank here. We'll get on with that with the last prize giving. But it's been super stuff. What? No, I'm just going to go out here. So we're just going to see what happens. And I hope you've all enjoyed it today. Despite the rain, in fact, it's rather nice to be cool for once. Thanks to Ronald and Matt, the sound engineers here, do a great service in Apple Sound. And it's going to be a chance for the knife to be driven home by the veterans. And Paddy Self on his cow pony, as he calls it, the little coloured pony, which he made himself, is, in fact, he's not going to do it. He's going to let Dickie Winchester have a crack here. Colonel Dickie Winchester, late of the RA. That's a good shot by him as he drives it down. He's playing tomorrow for the Royal Artillery in the interregimental final against the Queen's Royal Hussars. Again, that day sponsored by Forfar Education and John Forsyth. Our thanks to them and Horace Hill School. Paddy Self backs it. Beautiful stroke. Paddy's on parade tomorrow as well. John, thank you very much. And we'll see you tomorrow when this is over. And here comes Will Morby. It's a great weekend to play. That's a lovely shot by Will Morby. Look at him go. Look at him go. And he's going to go. Oh, this is more like it. Oh, what a way to finish the match. Steady, Williams. Steady, steady, boy. Oh, he's going to score. Surely, 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 surely. Oh, and it comes off. What a horse race that was. That was the quickest duel of the day. Will Morby tearing down. Now he's determined to back it. And he does, and he scores, and well done. In fact, that was Connor Biarcas who scored that. Well done, Connor. Your first goal here, and they've got it within half a goal. So it's 5.5 playing 6. Are we done here? Takes about 20 seconds to get down. The clock is looking rather at the end of its life. So unless they get out of the blocks and take it down, it's going to be a victory towards the veterans. But well done indeed. Pressure, pressure, pressure. And here they go again, the veterans. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Victory by 6 goals to 5.5. So the veterans win 6 goals to 5.5 of the Armed Forces Polo Association to lift the Indian Cavalry Officers Association trophy in memory of the British Indian officers of the Indian Cavalry pre-47. And that lives on. This used to be a great party for them, but sadly age has caught up with them. So well done. Robert Talbot Rice, who had some good moments. Fran Townend, remarkable person. How on earth she plays polo at such speed, I don't know. Dickie Winchester, good warm-up for him tomorrow. And of course Paddy Self, who scored all 6 goals. And Cody the cow is still for sale. And then we have...
So what a finale we have then to the polo here. A victory for the veterans team against the UK Armed Forces, literally by just half a goal, 6.5. Or 6.5 to 5. Brilliant. Sorry, 6 to 5.5. Let's get that one absolutely right. Congratulations to Will Self as well, who scored all 6 goals for the veterans team. And it brings to an end a magnificent afternoon of polo. Really hope you've enjoyed it. Of course, the Army still celebrating winning the Rundle Cup. They had a victory there by 5-3 today earlier on. And thank you so much to all the team who've been involved in bringing this to us today. Obviously the presentations to happen, we won't be staying for that, but we will be back for more Forces Sport on Wednesday, so don't forget to join us for more football from the Infantry Cup final. But from me, John Knight, and all the team here at Tidworth Park Polo Club, it's a very good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a great end to the fight from both of these men. Look at them, absolutely giving it 100%. And Walker really felt that. This is a great exchange